Thanks for tuning in. The karaoke champion here. Got a new tune coming to you. It's about trailers for sale, maybe some for rent. Y'all ready? Let's get to it. Just kidding, it's the TrailerSmith here. I know it's been a while, but we have a new video we're working on today. We're going to cover something that's very important and something that's often overlooked. We're going to talk about safety chains today and the importance and how to hook them up properly. So let's get right to it. Okay, today we're going to cover the safety chain, a couple different types of safety chains, how to use them and how not to use them. Believe it or not, many times we'll have a trailer come in and the safety chains are still hooked up here. I can assure you that if they're hooked up there, they're not going to do their purpose if needed, and we'll talk about that, how to hook them up, and we'll show an example of a failure and what they're supposed to do in case that happens to you. Thank y'all for tuning in and watching our videos. Thank you all the guys that subscribe to us. Remember, if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up and remember to click the subscribe. So let's get right to it. Okay, first we'll talk about the two different types of chains. This is a very common chain, mainly found on your smaller trailers. It does have the safety clip, a small S hook, and this is a 1/4 inch chain. So if you do buy a small trailer, this is likely what it's going to come with. I'm not a big fan of this chain for a couple reasons. One reason, it doesn't fit in a lot of the newer hook holes on the back of the hitch, and also if you need to change the hook out or if you need to shorten the chain, you can't get this off without cutting it. The one I prefer for a bumper pull is going to be his 5/16 chain that's got a good removable hook, again, good safety clip. And it's important, if this safety clip becomes broke, replace the hook on there. If this chain is too long, which we'll cover here shortly, you can take this pin out, you can shorten your chain as needed, then you can lengthen your chain as needed as well. We'll put a link down below in the description that you can look on Amazon if you need to purchase any chains or if you're looking for chains. So let's get started. I'm going to first show you how not to hook your chains up, and we'll cover the reason why. Okay, we're going to hook these up the incorrect way. This is the way we see them hooked up a lot of the time. So the length on these is pretty good. It's hooked up. Hey, that looks safe. They're hooked up, you're legal. You won't get a ticket for that likely, but let's show what can happen if, for instance, you have the wrong coupler on the wrong ball, or if the coupler or the ball fails and it comes off going down the highway at highway speeds. Let's show that real quick. As you can see, once we let the trailer down to simulate it coming off while going on the highway, the chains are still hooked up, so we're good, right? No. If you can look, the jack is contacting the ground, the coupler is almost contacting the ground. If you were going to be on a soft surface, this coupler has the potential to dig in, and even on asphalt, I've seen it dig in and cause the trailer to break loose of the chain. And when that happens, you can lose total control of the trailer, which could cause, damage to someone's property, or even worse, you could seriously injure someone or yourself. So we're going to hook this back up, and I'm going to show you the proper way to hook your chains up, and if they were to come off, if they're hooked up correctly, how they work. Okay, we're going to show you the proper way to hook your chains up now. So you're going to take the left-hand chain, hook it to the right side of the hitch, and the right hand to the left. Next, you need to check the length of chain. This chain is too long. It's not going to work great. Probably still going to have contact if it were to come off. As I said earlier, I don't recommend twisting the chain, but on this chain, the only way to shorten it is to cut that off, put a new hook on it. So for the purposes of this, I am going to twist it just so I can show you what will happen if you lose the trailer. And again, if you do twist your chains, just make sure that they're even. So something else you want to be sure, once you hook your chains up, make sure that you have plenty of slack to turn. And the easy way to do that is to just turn it in the parking lot before you head out on your trip. And if they're in a bind, obviously shorten them. So that's a little, that's better. Like I said, again, I don't like the twisting because you can't have some slack in there, but we're going to take this off and let it fall and see what happens. With the chain to the proper length, if you were to come loose, there's a good chance that the chain will hold it and not allow it to come loose. If it does come completely off, See the cradle? Nothing is touching the ground right now. Now this is a perfect scenario. There is still a chance if this coupler comes off the side of this chain, it will touch the ground. But when you start slowing your vehicle, and if your brake and everything is still hooked up on the trailer will catch up to the truck, and you can regain control because you're in a cradle situation right now. Gain control, get off the side of the road. When your chains are not crossed, it's going to hit the ground and it's never going to catch up. It's just going to continue to drag in there. So that is the purpose of hooking the chains up in the crisscross pattern. So guys, just remember to cross your chains. You still may tear the coupler up, you may tear your bumper and plug up, you may tear the jack up, but in this scenario it does give you a chance to regain control of your trailer, pull off the side of the road, and all this stuff here is replaceable and repairable. We are working on a Q&A video. Hope we'll have that out soon. So if you have any questions, please put those in the comments below. We look at each and every one of those. I think that'll be something fun to do, and maybe give us some ideas on some future videos. Thanks for watching.